Welcome, I'm Lynn Dunton.
And I'm Jasiri Jenkins-Glenn.
And you're now tuned in to Santa Cruz Currents,
keeping you current on all things Santa Cruz.
We have a great show in store for you.
But first, the news.
Esther Greenberg, Chair of the Commission for the Prevention of Violence Against Women, and Commissioner Lakia Queen are recommending to the Santa Cruz City Council that it provide a safe and supervised location for homeless women to sleep. Greenberg quoted statistics from a report that supports this proposal. About 50% of the homeless women and children are on the run from domestic violence. After women flee the dangers of domestic violence and become homeless, they enter another world of violence and uncertainty. A total of 78.3% of the homeless women in the study had been subjected to rape, physical assault, and stalking at some point in their lifetimes. On Tuesday, November 24th, the City Council will hear a proposal from Mayor Lane and Council Member Posner to identify a location in which a limited number of homeless men and women can sleep in their vehicles. On Saturday, November 7th, the 21st Peace and Unity March occurred in Watsonville City Plaza. The day started with an assembly of an altar space for mothers of violence and the community. At noon, the community marched through neighborhoods directly affected by violence. The Peace and Unity March was established in 1994 by Watsonville youth in response to ongoing violence in the community when two young people, 16 and 9, were gunned down in Pajaro. Since its inception, the march has grown to encompass community-based grassroots organizing by youth, parents, teachers, local businesses, unions, religious, spiritual, and art groups. It provides a constructive model of community coming together in unity to inspire dialogue and mutual understanding to support peace in the neighborhoods. Halloween. Many kids and their families visited community television to trick or treat and see themselves on TV. The live broadcast was held in the entrance of the CTV building. More trick-or-treaters were seen downtown this year due to the sunny weather. Halloween inspires local schools and organizations to hold their annual fundraisers. Galt School enjoyed another well-attended carnival with lots of activities for children of all ages. Women Care raised money during the 19th annual Bowl-a-thon, where people showed off their skills as well as their costumes. They both remind us that the season to donate money to worthy causes has officially started. After winning a championship season, the Santa Cruz Warriors have gotten off to an all-star start by winning the first home game November 6th. It was the season opener, which featured appearances by many NBA D-League executives and Golden State Warrior players. Championship rings were awarded, while the championship banner was unveiled to a sea of Santa Cruz Warrior fans. The Warriors, known locally for their outreach in the community, most notably the Ready to Achieve program, won by 17 points over the Bakerfield Jam. With over 100 points on the board, the Warriors sent their fans home with an opportunity to pick up a free scoop of ice cream from Mission Hill Creamery. Not far from the Kaiser Permanente Arena, the Beach Flats Community Garden is at risk. Let's turn to a video about Beach Flats Community Garden.
For more than 20 years, the Beach Flats neighborhood has used a small plot of land owned by the Seaside Company as a community garden.
Pues somos como 24 los que plantamos aquí en el jardín. Plantamos frijol, calabazas, tomate, flores, chile, de todo lo que hay en las tiendas, nosotros lo plantamos aquí.
This year, the Seaside Company announced that it wouldn't be renewing the lease for the community garden. The Beach Flat gardeners and their supporters are organizing to keep the garden.
I just want to show y'all what we cultivate here for our families.
Esto es lo que nosotros cultivamos aquí, por viejo. Este lo cocinas con con carne de puerco, de res, y es muy bueno. A algunos no les gusta, pero a nosotros, a mí como salvadoreño, me encanta.
Continued now to be 24 of us, and we made it as beautiful as it is today. And I need anybody to take it from us, because I want to keep it.
On Tuesday, October 27th, the Santa Cruz community organized a march to City Hall to ask the City Council to buy the land so they could have a permanent community garden.
No sé cómo llamar este. A lo que yo lo compré. Quiero agradecerles a todos ustedes por la lucha que estamos por nuestro jardín.
He wants to let the city council and the mayor know that the reason why we are out here, he is directing this message strictly to them to let them know that the value of this garden and how important it is to the community and especially the youth in the community. And he wants them to know that the reason why we're all out here is to ask them to let us keep this very valuable and cultural space. Thank you.
The gardeners and their supporters told the City Council they wanted to keep the garden as it is. The City Council said they would enter into negotiations with the Seaside Company to buy the garden. However, the Seaside Company said it wouldn't sell the land and is offering a 3-year lease for 60% of the garden.
It's important to say that it's not the entire Beach Flats Community Garden, but it's 16,000 square feet of land that we're providing to the city at no additional rent, and it represents about 2/3 of the existing land that's there now.
The gardeners and their supporters must now decide what to do next. On Friday, November 13th, Dolores Huerta came to the Beach Flats. With inspiring words, she encouraged the gardeners and their supporters to continue their struggle to maintain the community garden.
The 40 farm workers, many of them who could not speak English, couldn't read or write, that they were able to convince 17 million Americans to boycott grape, that we can convince whatever we need to do to keep this land, that we can make it happen. So, what do we say? ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede! Right, ¿se puede? Sí, se puede! ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede!
Two of the activists who helped organize the events are here. Let's welcome Danielle and Jessica. Hi guys, how are you?
We're good.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, of course. Thank you for being here. As we could see from the video, there's a lot of really important work being done to bring attention to the Beach Flats community garden issue that you guys are facing now. So just to kind of get a feel for you two, Jessica, can you tell me what does the community garden mean to you?
A community garden means a cultural space, especially for low-income Latino community that is right next to the beach. I've been going there for a couple months, and I noticed that the men there are there really early and they leave really late, so they're always, it's just a place where they can engage and meet their friends after work. Or
Yes. They're very committed, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Very nice. And when they arrive, what do they do at the gardens?
They actually do work the land. I know one of the men there He starts from 3 in the morning, and
Wow.
then he ends like at 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Then he takes a break and then just keeps feeding the birds from what we've seen every Friday morning.
Amazing. So the community garden is a part of their routine, their daily routine.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And Danielle, same question for you. What has the community garden come to mean for you?
It's just a crucial part of everyday life, to echo what Jessica was saying. I mean, for this specific community in Santa Cruz, but it also, I mean, to me, it's a small issue that echoes a global, crucial issue, and that's our connection to food.
Absolutely.
And it's really, really sacred, and it's something that a lot of people have lost touch with.
Yes.
And so to me, I mean, it's one of the most important things. I mean, it's food, it's life.
Yes, absolutely. So with considering that there is a global issue with our food, cultivating land, how important is specifically this Beach Flats community garden to our community here in Santa Cruz?
I've heard that the seeds that they get are ancient seeds from their hometown in Mexico
Amazing.
and Central America. So a lot of them are either they bring it with them when they first came here, or they get it shipped here from their families.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a woman who even gets seeds in the mail from her mother in Mexico, right?
Interesting. Wow. And then a lot of the food that's cultivated, what happens with that food? Is it distributed to our communities here, or?
They don't sell it. They just share it amongst themselves.
Wonderful.
For
Okay.
free. So, I mean, part of the issue with some organic food, people can't afford it, right? It's
Right.
typically more expensive.
Yes.
This is organic, sustainable, milpa-style growing for free.
Right.
And they're feeding their families and sharing with each other for free, which
Yeah.
is really beautiful. And they're growing things from Peru, El Salvador, Mexico. And so the importance to the greater community, I think, is it's really a grounds for learning
Yes.
and for teaching. Like, this community can show us. I mean, they're growing things that aren't grown anywhere else in Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Yes, and it's only found in the Beach Flats Community Garden.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So you two were initially involved in the Beach Flats Community Garden through an internship through UCSC, and you're both environmental studies majors. And as we noticed in the film, there are a lot of young people. Can you explain why are the young people so involved, and why are they interested in this? Jessica, maybe.
Well, we were talking about how our institution is a research institution, so a lot of people are already involved in other research projects through other orgs.
Yes.
And I think that our major did a lot with distributing flyers and email blasting so many students.
Yes.
We also Danielle did class reps.
Okay.
So,
Announcements to
Yeah.
hundreds of students.
Okay. Very nice.
so 300-person lectures, 100-person lectures. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And our campus newspaper is writing about it, City on the Hill Press, so students have access, you know, whether it's our student newspaper or just local sources of information. The word is spreading, and I mean, hundreds of students know about it and are
Yes.
excited about it. I think there was a lot of environmental support.
Okay.
People who are interested and have passions in that realm, but
Right.
I think that, I mean, so many other students could join in on this issue for cultural or political reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's pretty important for the young people. I mean, it's our future that is affected by the garden and it being here and many other gardens throughout the world. So it's very important, and that's great that you guys are doing all those all that hard work. Yeah. So where do we go from here? Where do you guys go from here as young people and fighting for this garden? What's the next step?
We got to keep pushing. It's not our job personally to make the decisions, but we're here in alliance and in solidarity with the struggle. And so ultimately it comes down to us supporting whatever the gardeners themselves want to do. And at this point, they still want to help save the entire garden. Even with the 2/3 proposal that has come up recently, it still means a taking away, a loss of 1/3 of the garden. That's actually the oldest part.
Okay. Wow.
So the gardeners really want to keep it there, and we're going to try and help them with that.
Absolutely. So what does it mean to them to keep that land? when you say that it's the oldest part and it's very important to them, why is it important to them? Is it just the seeds?
Well, soil development is really crucial in gardening and farming. And so, I mean, they have over 20 years of hard work and, nutrients put into this soil. I mean, it's not something you could essentially pick up and put down somewhere else. And soil is the foundation of all of farming and gardening, and that's where it all starts, from the ground up. So, yeah.
Very interesting. So the past that the soil has is just as important to what's happening to it today, and that's why. Very cool. So if some of our viewers are interested in supporting your efforts and supporting the Beach Flats Community Center Garden, what could they do to get more information?
We have a website, beachflatsgarden.org. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and I think there's even a Twitter. So
okay, very cool.
There's a lot of ways to get involved. We also meet Saturdays at 4 p.m. at the garden.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to come and...
Very nice. What do you do on at 4 p.m. on Sunday?
There's subcommittees, and then we talk about updates, ways to get more involved, do more.
Okay.
So
yeah,
there's always room for opportunities.
Wonderful. Good. Well, is there anything from the community that you guys need? What do you want from the community as far as the struggle goes? I know you're students and you're just interns and you're kind of going along with it too.
Yeah.
But is that what you want from the community, is to also come out and help with the gardening? I mean, at this point, is there a need for help with the gardening?
There's still gardeners continuing in the garden right now, even though we did pass eviction date.
Okay.
They're harvesting crops. They're pros at what they do. I'm sure that they'd love the help. But the community can support in a whole bunch of ways. I mean, we can continue to work with Seaside and their realizations of, how important and crucial of a space that this is.
Yes.
So write letters to Seaside Company, communicate to City Council, show up to meetings, work together, show up in numbers when we need to, and we also have a donation link on the beachflatsgarden.org.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys coming down.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now a word from Sarah Eisenberg on tech in Santa Cruz.
I'm Sarah Eisenberg, founder and publisher of Santa Cruz Tech Beat. Santa Cruz Tech Beat is the go-to source for all things tech in our region, from comprehensive news about our local tech business developments and startups, to thought leadership from our local tech ecosystem. Plus, Santa Cruz Tech Beat has job and event listings, resources, and more. I'm here to tell you about some current developments in the local tech scene that you need to know. Applying for a building permit can be difficult anywhere. By providing an online portal to simplify the permitting process, Open Counter helps business owners get their businesses up and running more easily. Originally piloted through a Code for America Fellowship and Knight Foundation grant in the city of Santa Cruz, Open Counter recently launched in Boston and Orlando, Florida. This brings the number of cities using Open Counter to almost 20, with more on the horizon. In app news, SnapPost just launched in the Apple App Store. SnapPost makes it easy for you to sell your stuff on eBay. Do you have things you no longer need taking up space in your garage or attic? We all do. With just a photo, SnapPost does the rest, including identifying, pricing, and posting your item. It's like having an eBay virtual assistant. Founded by Suzanne Wook, SnapPost was acquired by Seabright Companies in Santa Cruz last February. In other app news, 3 UC Santa Cruz computer science graduates have launched Hearth, an app to help organize your household's communal chores. Hearth aims to help dorm mates, housemates, couples, and families by tracking chores, bills, payments, and shopping lists in a single place. There's a growing demand for new ways to store, manage, analyze, and use the massive amounts of electronic data being generated, especially medical data. CSUMB was recently awarded a $1 million grant from the National Institutes of Health to prepare students for careers in biomedical data science. The 5-year grant will help train professionals and will target students from historically underrepresented and low-income backgrounds. The funds will help establish a summer research program at CSUMB, develop new programs, and create opportunities for collaboration with UC Santa Cruz. Sounds good. Have you heard that the internship is the new interview? To help all students get a leg up on the job market, Community Foundation of Santa Cruz County has contributed $30,000 to kick off the new Monterey Bay Internship Portal. It's a new website scheduled to launch in January. The portal will help college students find internships in the Monterey Bay region and enable businesses and public sector agencies to post openings and find local candidates. In addition to Community Foundation, other partners include Santa Cruz Business Council, Cabrillo College, UC Santa Cruz, and Monterey Bay Economic Partnership. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for more news and developments from the Santa Cruz tech scene. And of course, for the latest news, jobs, and events anytime, go to santacruztechbeat.com.
Thank you, Sarah, for that update about the tech scene here in Santa Cruz.
Let's turn our attention to what Santa Cruz people are posting on YouTube.
This is the Santa Cruz Current's YouTube Roundup, highlighting YouTube uploads for the Santa Cruz area.
I just gotta find a job title that will summarize all of that into one business card. For now, I'll just call it Woman.
My love knows no bounds, her every move I'll track. Uncle Sam says it's cool because of the Patriot Acts. Yes, I say, well, the work that you do, that applies when you spy for the government too.
That was the NSA love song. Oh, I wonder if they're involved in this video. And then we had the Glow Festival from the Museum of Art and History. That's the Santa Cruz Current YouTube Roundup. Hope you enjoyed it.
That was a glowing report. Our community is filled with many activities. Here are a few that are happening this month. with the acts of violence in Egypt, Beirut, Kenya, and Paris during the past weeks.
We would like to leave you with the words of Albert Einstein.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding.
So let us strive to understand, empathize, and join together with one another to strengthen our communities and our world.
This is Santa Cruz Currents, wishing you a peaceful holiday season.